Hello, sweet friends. Welcome back to episode 4 of Heaven to Betsy Conversations about Life. Today we're going to touch on another part of the H.E.L.P series. And if you recall, H.E.L.P stands for Healthy Educational Lessons for Parents, or I think I was going to change it to people, because we can all benefit from exercising our brain in addition to our bodies. And working on mindfulness, breathing techniques is just part of the rounding of wellness all the way around our bodies, so we can live healthier, sharper, and longer. So today we're going to do the first of a two-part series to explain about our toolbox in our brain. What cognitive skills are your foundation for learning? No matter our age, we can always learn and improve our ability to learn. There's still so much we are not aware of about the brain. There's still so much we're learning about the brain. It's fascinating. It seems like every day there's something new we learn about the brain. If you recall, there's an old adage that said, in one ear, not the other. That's because certain things that go into our brain don't stick. So we're going to try to make you efficient and get those power tools. Would you rather build a house with a hammer and a screwdriver, or would you rather build a house with a sledgehammer and a drill? Something that's more powerful, the power tools. We want to make sure that we strengthen our tools, take out the ones that are broken or not working for us, and put in the more efficient, stronger tools. That's what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes information isn't processed. Why is that? So think of your brain as being a road. There's a bunch of road. You're trying to get from point A to point B, right, on that road. And there's a block in the road. There's a construction or who knows what in that road. There's a block in the road. Well, the beauty of cognitive skills is you can go around that block. You can find a different alternative way to get around it. And those are called synapses in the brain. We can actually add synapses in our brain, and we can go around these roadblocks. And to work it out, it's there, it's strengthened. So that ulterior route that you're going to take will now be there, where you can take it again and again and again. So many of us don't strengthen our brain. We just don't use that part of the brain if we don't like it, or we're weak at it, or we just don't use it. So just like when you're weak, if you have weak arms, what would you do? Would you go to the gym and try to strengthen them? Or would you just go around like that little cartoon where have a big head and little arms and just use it if you can? Doesn't mean it's going to be the strongest, because you're going to always strengthen your area that you enjoy. So that may be stronger, but at least you can strengthen that area so it's not so weak. And that's what I'm talking about. So with that said, really all it takes is time, practice, and effort to exercise your brain. And what's really cool is, just like your body, you can add what quote-unquote weights to strengthen your brain. And we'll talk about that in another episode as well. There are ways you can challenge yourself more and more and more to strengthen your brain, just like when you add weights on, let's say dumbbells, when you're working with dumbbells, there's a way that you can do that with your brain too. And it does help, and it does work. So don't settle. There's a great book. I have it right here. I don't know if you can see it. I have it right here. It's by Jim Quick. It's called Limitless. If you have a chance, go and get it. You can get the audio. He has amazing additions to it that you can get. And there is a PDF also that I'm going to put together that'll help you kind of see some of the images that'll help you understand better what these cognitive skills do and why they're so important. But I'll have that in a later episode as well. Okay, so let's get started really quick. So I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do want to make sure that you're aware of how important these are and what they work on. We're going to start with the most important of all of them, well, at least for me, especially us that are older. And we tend to lose it, and that's the one that we're all worried about, is our memory, right? Well, your memory works with short-term memory, working memory, and long-term memory. What are those three? Short-term memory, think of it as a Post-it note. It's just a phone number you need for today, let's say to call the doctor. but you're not going to need it tomorrow. It's just a little post-it. Think of a post-it note. It kind of falls off, but it's there temporarily. Your working memory, think of a whiteboard. And you're working out a math problem. You just need to know that math problem for today, but so you're remembering the number, the calculations, but you got to go in and actually calculate it. And so that's what short working memory is. It's actively thinking and juggling information around. Think of a whiteboard where you write things down, you move them around, you erase them, and you rewrite them. And your long-term memory, think of that as your file cabinet. That's where you have all the files, all those files since the day you were born, of information and anything that you've done, experiences, so on and so forth, that you've done throughout your life. Those are permanently in there. They're not just going to be there temporarily and then fall off. Now we're going to move on to attention. Attention has quite a few areas to it too. You've got your sustained attention, your selective attention, and your divided attention. Your selective attention is finding the one that you want to work on. So for example, a child may be playing a game and there may be Johnny and Joey over here talking in the background, and he's able to focus on the game while ignoring the distractions in the background. He's selecting what he wants to do, but then he can turn around and talk to Joey without losing his focus over here on the game. He is selecting what he wants to do. There's sustained attention, being able to focus on a task for a very long time, probably more than about 15-30 minutes. That's your sustained attention, is being able to focus on that task. You're focused on it, and nothing else around you is going to take precedence. It's going to be where your attention is going to be for that period of time. Your divided attention is your multitasking, being able to do several things at one time. Today we focused on memory and attention. Next time we're going to finish the rest of the toolbox and help you understand why these are so important and why it's so important to have both parts to SMART, why it's so important to balance them out. It's very important for that information to come in. Of course, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation without information, but how we process that information, where it goes, what we do with it, and how fast we go through it, that is critical too. So that's your tools, that's your power tools. That is your toolbox in your brain. And that is so critical, and that is the foundation for learning. If you have strengthened those as you are putting information in, there's no limits to what you can do. Going back to Jim Quick, your mind is limitless at that point. And there are ways that we can do that together. So I look forward to seeing you in the coming episodes. This was wonderful. I hope this helped you a little bit, or helped you at least think a little differently, give you a new perspective on your brain and on all of our brains. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Have a wonderful day. I hope you smile a little, pray a lot, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode as we navigate through this life, one conversation at a time. Take care and God bless. Goodbye.